Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we find ourselves in Clearmont, Florida. Florida is known for a lot of things, including tourist destinations. We begin today's episode at a very old tourist destination. It's been around quite a while, and it celebrates something that Florida is known even more for: oranges. We are at the Citrus Tower, which celebrates this state's long history of that wonderful fruit. Come tag along.
We're going to a place that you've never heard of before. It's Abnormal Voyages. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna open new doors. It's Abnormal Voyages.
The Grand Citrus Tower was built in 1955, then opened to the public in 1956. It stands 226 feet tall, and from the top, you can see out for 35 miles. The bottom floor of the tower holds not only a little cafe where you can pick up a delicious orange-flavored drink, but there's also a souvenir stand where you can pick up a nice orange-themed gift to commemorate your time inside the tower. So now that we've explored everything on the bottom story of the Citrus Tower, we're going to jump in this elevator that's going to take us straight up to the top, where we're going to see some incredible views of all the surrounding area that used to be groves and groves of orange trees. The view from the top of Citrus Tower is still pretty breathtaking. It is much more developed with stores and houses and streets than what it was when the tower was initially built, but definitely still worth coming up here to take a look out. And if you're interested in what it may have looked like back when the tower was built, they still have these signs up that show you in each direction what things you would have seen. Disney World is of course up here, but then there's little facts about the lakes, the trees, all the awesome spots that you may have wanted to visit while you were here in Florida. So as you can see, it was a really great first destination for any tourists that happen to be stopping by. You won't really find many orange trees around here these days, though there used to be over 17 million that you could see from the tower. Those are all pretty much gone. There's now development of houses, businesses, roads, things like that that have sprung up in this area. But oranges are still a very important part of the Florida economy. One of their biggest exports is orange juice. And we figured, why not learn a little bit more about it? So come on, let's head down the road and find somewhere that makes that wonderful juice. We're now in Lake Wales, just a little bit away from the Citrus Tower, and we're here at the Florida Naturals Grove House. This is the visitor center that's right next to their factory, and we're gonna go inside and get some hands-on experience to learn all about orange juice. Florida Naturals was founded in 1933 as the Florida Citrus Canners Cooperative. They would later change that name to Citrus World in 1969, and then finally in 1998, they landed on Florida's Natural Growers, and that's what they are to this day. As you walk around the Grove House, you get a great little history lesson about their company, going all the way back to when people in their factories had to squeeze each individual orange by hand, and then taking you all the way through the modern technology that they utilize to make orange juice now. And beyond the pictures, they've actually brought in pieces of the equipment as well, so that you can get an up-close and detailed look at what goes into making that delicious orange juice. This piece in particular is part of the machinery that squeezes the juice right out of that orange. Now, irrigation is a very important piece of the growing experience, not only to get the best oranges possible, but to make sure that the future is going to continue to be filled with these oranges. They take the time to ensure that they're conserving water as best they can to help out the entire state and do good by nature. And it's a great thing that they do, as the citrus trees here in Florida release annually about 10 million tons of oxygen into the environment. And any subject that happens to really interest you here at the Grove House, you can start a video and learn more in depth about that particular topic. A very neat addition. Something in particular I really enjoyed was this wall here that showed you different snapshots of the Grove at different times throughout its history, but it highlighted unique circumstances, such as one time when Florida happened to get a very uncharacteristically cold winter, and how they handled that and managed to save the oranges without all of them dying due to the weather. They give you a step-by-step of how they managed to salvage these trees and ensure that in future seasons they'd be able to get more oranges out of them. They did lose some of them, but due to the quick actions of those who worked here with Florida Naturals, they didn't lose all of them, so they were able to spring back the next year.
Something interesting here, you can actually hit these buttons to pull up different videos that talk about the nutritional benefits of orange juice. As you can see, there are several different great reasons to eat this wonderful fruit.
I think everyone grows up knowing that oranges equals vitamin C. If you're ever feeling a little sick, you got a cold coming on, chugging some orange juice is probably one of the best things you can do. But beyond vitamin C, oranges are also packed full of fiber and other vitamins and minerals. They boost your immune system, and they even help keep your heart healthy. Ultimately, oranges are a powerhouse healthy fruit. Plus, they taste pretty awesome. Another fascinating section you can explore is all about packaging. Florida's Natural has had some of the most iconic orange juice containers throughout their history. And you get a chance to see that history right here in a beautiful display case. Throughout the decades, the container with the juice has certainly changed, but luckily, the delicious juice on the inside has been the same since the very beginning. And then after you've seen the containers throughout the ages, you can get a look at the advertisements throughout the ages. These have certainly changed a lot. There's a lot of different names and a lot of different styles. I personally love seeing these vintage advertisements. It just feels like they had more character in them than what we're used to today. And from branding, it is not a large step to get us over to souvenirs and products that have all been influenced by oranges. Oh, there's a familiar tower right there in the middle and on those plates, but there are plenty of other places that oranges really have taken the spotlight when it comes to Florida. Even Orange Bird makes an appearance, all the way from Disney World.
There's a lot of different brands when it comes to orange juice, and one mascot that really rose above the rest was Donald Duck. Oranges are big in Florida, Disney World's big in Florida. It was a match made in heaven.
The marketing for a piece of fruit really can go anywhere you want to take it. The only thing they needed to do was ensure that that prominent orange color is there, and people were willing to give it a shot. Honestly, oranges might be the most well-marketed fruit in the entire world. And it makes sense. People love the taste of oranges, so it's really easy to market products that people think are going to be good. Personally, I totally see the appeal of oranges and syrups and jams, but I think orange-flavored popcorn might be where I draw the line.
And of course, they have some sample setup of all the different things that Florida Natural creates. I think I'm gonna go for this premium ruby red grapefruit juice. Let's see what that's like. Not bad. A little bitter, but what can you expect from grapefruit? Yummy.
Now, though this is where the factory is located, this isn't the exact location of the groves. The groves are a little bit away from here and encompass thousands of acres. However, next to the grove house, you can find several orange trees set up in a smaller grove that show you different examples of the types of oranges that are grown in the bigger grove. Let's look at some of them. Everything is laid out here very neatly, and they have little signs that tell you the names of the fruits, what they're going to taste like, and their ideal growing season. That way, you know exactly what's going to be coming out of that tree. Now, when it comes to the full-size groves, they do tend to keep the oranges all together that are a specific type or growing season, just to make it easier when they're harvesting them. But for our purposes of just getting a little education about them, they really couldn't have done any better than what's here. These orange trees are fairly young, and in the early process of getting oranges, this little one here is going to be a full-size orange someday. They got a couple of these set up. It's just very fascinating how small and how different looking these are now from the big fruit that we all know and love. Now, though Florida Natural is of course the name of the company and the famous container, they do make other orange juices here at the same factory. We got two of those to try them out. We're going to start off with this one here. This is the Coral Reef juice. This is more of a local flavor. It's only sold in public supermarkets pretty much around here. This is 100% pure, not from concentrate, so this is straight from the oranges to the bottle. Oh, very fresh, very tangy. That is delicious. Very good orange juice. And then, you know, we had to get some of the Donald Duck orange juice. Interesting fact, they've actually partnered with Disney so long on this that they have one of the longest running partnerships with the Disney Corporation to use Donald Duck. Wow, that is really good. It tastes very much like the other orange juice here, but a little tangier, a little sweeter. Very good. Very good use of a partnership, if I do say so myself. Well, that's all the time we have for today, adventurers. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and comment where you'd like to see us go next. All of it really helps us out. And if you're interested in seeing some bonus episodes and getting a postcard in the mail every single month from somewhere that we visit, check out our Patreon. The link will be below. My name is David, and this has been Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for tagging along. We'll see you next time.